Hello? Maybe? I'm hoping? OBS crashed. I kind of wonder how long that happened, how long ago that happened, because, like, as soon as I got the other phone streaming, like, to watch the stream, it just went white, and I wasn't looking over at the computer. Okay, well, hope that doesn't happen again. I'm right at the critical juncture where I can actually restart, and after this I can't, because the pin will have been made, or at least started to have been made. Future past perfect tense? I don't know. I'm going to be putting on a dust mask, so I'm going to finish this while it's cold. Cool. Oh no. It's far too far over. We're going to just do that. I'm also like still learning how much adjustment I have in my tool rest now that I have the thing facing the right way. Hey, how about that? That's like perfect. It's like perfect. I hope the chat's working. I don't know. I didn't test anything this time. I just started back up. So, all right. Well, it's about to get loud. Let's go. I did do a considerable amount of sanding to this because it did have the whole the barrel channel. That probably has a name, but the place where the gun barrel actually goes was in there. It's like a U-shaped groove. I was afraid that if I clipped that, it was just gonna knock it off. So I sanded that completely flat. That was that's what was down here. So I took that off, and then there was a piece of metal like stuck in there, and that I couldn't pull it out. It was like a really long spike, so I took that out. I'm sure that has a name. I don't know what it is. I'm not really a gun guy. I also didn't put on the safety mask I was just talking about. Or the face shield. Here we go. I'm going to echo now. Yay. I got to see how much more I got to go down. Not much at all. So I'm good there. I'm going to stop. So if this goes correctly, this will be the part where it's gripped. So what I'm trying to do is create some nice scroll work without, not scroll work, spindle work, without compromising his ability to actually use the pen. I need to sharpen this. It's working still, but it's not good, so I'll switch. It's fine. This is also an acceptable thing to use. There we go. That's what I wanted. These need to go a lot smaller. Well, I guess a lot is relative. Probably a good 1/16 of an inch. All right. So I like to do like a little sort of egg shape. And I would love it if someone who knew anything about this kind of turning contacted me and gave me a lesson on what all the hell this shit's called. Because I've just been making up names for it in my head. So I got an egg shape, and then a little saucer shape, which might become a ball, we'll see. And then a sort of meteor comet shape. This needs to be smaller. Yeah, I think I made this too thick for it to be a good saucer. This one's a slightly sharper angle, so I can get in just a little bit tighter. Alright, I am whittling away at this thing, and it's gonna disappear in a second into the brass tube, and that's no good. So I'm gonna leave it. I'll sand it when it gets there. I really want this to be a lot finer than it looks. This is very chunky right now. The part that hurts my back. Oh. Yeah, that is too big. I think it's time. Because I've got all these. Oops. Oh, there's a detail. A little line there. You probably can't see it because there's a bright ass light behind me. Maybe if I block it. A little line. I'll even turn this off. Right here, where I poked into a little bit too far. I don't know if I can get it out. I can probably get it out. Wow, this thing is dull. Alright, every video I do it. Gotta go sharpen something. I don't think I've sharpened this one in months. Because that's a point. It's relatively sharp just by the nature of what it is. Alright. So you're going to be a razor now. We'll see. I got a lot better at sharpening tools this weekend too. I probably did it about 50 times. Oh yeah. That's nice. All right. I'm burning my hands. Yeesh. Dug in a little bit there. I think we're ready for sandpaper. I'm starting to get dangerously close to screwing this thing up. That's the only piece I've got that actually came from the gun, so I don't want to do that. Now, after that ebony fiasco last week, I posted a picture of it to a couple of pen turning groups and was soundly admonished for my techniques. So, one of the notes I was given was stop starting at 120, start at 220, or 440, or just 400. So that's what I've been doing. I also went out and got more sandpaper. I now have a 600 grit, which I didn't have before. I was doubling it each time because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. Someone else said you go 50% plus each time. So these are all guys that are definitely my seniors because they're all old as hell, and I don't mind saying that. But they've been some have been woodworking as long as I've been alive, and I'm not gonna crap on their advice. And I mean, I've been getting pretty good results, so it's not hard to argue. I didn't like it at first. I'm not good with change. I like to feel like I know what I'm doing, and when someone tells me what to do or how to do something, I don't feel like that. But that's a childish way to think, so I got over it, and I adjusted my technique, and yeah, you know what? My pens got better, and they got better with less effort. It might help that I put in probably 20 hours of work this weekend, just doing stuff, working, getting better at it. All right. So I'm going to go through a lot of steps to sandpaper. They won't all take as long as this one just did. That was a little bit of that was still shaping. I also bought new filters for my mask. That's made a difference. I just happened to see them at Lowe's. I didn't like order them with intent. I wanted to live through the sandpaper, and to do that, to get to the sandpaper, you go down the paint aisle. And lo and behold, there's an RZ mask, like variety pack, or no, what was it? Hold on. Bonus pack. It had 6 free filters in it, so I was like, well, shit, all right, I'll buy that. Compared to what I pay online. I mean, I paid basically the shipping cost to get all these and a new mask. So, can't really argue with that. I don't know why I turned it off, but whatever. So, what I was told is basically, after your initial one where you're finishing up your shaping, these shouldn't take more than a few seconds each. Like, if you're spending a full minute sanding for a pin blank on each grit, that's too much time. And it's not a matter of doing it quickly, it's just like not focusing too much energy on it. or over tunnel visioning on it. It has a better word, but I don't remember it right now. Now, I also read somewhere, this was on the Shellowax website, that you should not burnish with your wood shavings. But I trust Roy Underhill more than I trust Shellowax. So I'm going to keep doing that. But hey, I'm learning and growing. Maybe not 100%, but I'm trying. I've been burnishing every other grit. That's what I was doing this weekend, and it was working, so I'm going to keep doing it that way. I will say, people at Lowe's, and by which I mean customers, I accidentally bought 3 packs of 600 grit and only 1 pack of 800 grit because someone put shit in the wrong box. And that's just, you know what? You're hurting your fellow man. I'll eventually use it, so it's fine, but I'm going to run out of 800 before I run out of anything else, and I'm going to have 600 forever. I think next time I go on a sandpaper buying trip, which will at this rate be 6 months from now, I'll do another video showing my organizational process. I guess it doesn't deserve a whole video. It's just, I got all the sandpaper. I got this organizational tackle box thing from Harbor Freight, and I cut them all into little strips. Put them in. I don't know if you can see that at all. You couldn't actually see in. Here. I didn't do the back and forth, but I don't really need to at this point. It already feels like marble. So going further with it is, I would have thought, a waste, but no, I did experimentation. And I go all the way up to 2,000 now, and it helps. And there were guys telling me, man, they got like this special micro mesh whatever shit that is basically like 25,000 grit. And I'm like, that's a little bit, I don't see how that's helpful. Maybe if you were polishing a diamond, but like, I'm making shit out of oak. Or in this case, walnut, which, even though it's a nice wood, is still, that's not going to polish up like that. Alright, burnishing again. I just get obsessed with how these things look, man. Yeah. And this is 1500. It's basically leather at this point. And doing this makes almost no discernible difference, except that I get a little bit of dust on the paper. Something I found is very helpful is kind of running the paper back and forth along an area. And if you can, doing like a circle. Oh, it's hard to tell, or hard to describe, but hopefully you can see it a little. So when I'm holding it up, I'm doing this along the length. Going along the length of the section of pin that I'm sanding, and along the section of sandpaper that I'm using. I'm going to go back to back, or side to side again. See, now this grain is coming out for real. That's going to look good. I've also, I said already, I'm going to use linseed oil this time. I didn't do that all weekend, but that's mostly just because it was inside. And I didn't want to go get it. But I grabbed it before this video. because that was what someone else had to do. Just put a couple of drops of linseed oil on it and then do the super glue treatment. Now, a couple drops is also something I don't really understand because it doesn't come out in drops, man. It comes out in a big old blob. Alright, this is already polished. Now I'm going to go nuts on it. Just going to clean that pretty well. Got shop towels too. Right, so the way this was described, I get it off the side that I had the dust on. The way this was described is you put a little bit of linseed oil on the paper towel, and then in the same place you put some super glue, which I don't have any of, so just a minute. There they are. Tripping over shit. I really think at this point I don't need this. Ugh. Ugh, so hot. I gotta come up with a solution for that. Close this. I don't need it anymore. That's ready. Right, couple drops of linseed oil. And then some super glue, and then in the same place you put the linseed oil again. And then the glue in the same place. Or on the same towel. I know I'm sniffling a lot. I'm sorry. I do have a little bit of a cold. And wearing this dust mask just kind of causes it to happen. Alright. I have a tiny little spot of linseed oil. There we go. So it's not nearly as good as tung oil or whatever was initially used on this Forestock. But the goal here was to try to kind of a little bit recall the color. You saw the color on the outside of the lacquer. Well, I'm not using lacquer. I refuse. I'm going to use CA glue, though. It's basically the same thing. Nope. I've also been told you do now some sanding to smooth out the glue, but I'm like, it's fine. No, it's fine. You can barely even tell it's there. Checking for lines, radio lines, but there weren't any. I'm good. I'm all set. Okay. Another piece of, or another dollop of linseed oil, and I might go with 3 coats. I was just gonna do, or not just 3. I was gonna do 2 linseed and then like linseed CA, but I'm gonna do 3, I think. Something else I got told was to turn the lathe down speed-wise during this step, so I'm gonna do that. I like that I'm subconsciously prefacing all of this with something I was told. So I don't want to pretend like I'm taking credit for anyone else's ideas. But also, if this ends up screwing up, it wasn't my fault. There we go. I really get down into them little spots. A little more glue. A little down inside. Should be good. Should be it. Looks nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Take this thing off. Very sweaty. Mustaches sweat a lot, y'all. Yep, and then I got to assemble it, which means I put all this shit on my table earlier, now I got to remove it. I wasn't thinking ahead. We'll be there momentarily. Cap on the linseed oil. There's that. Acetone. I may or may not have gotten a lot of super glue in my hands this past weekend. Alright, that's it. Alright, let's move the camera. Wait, let's remove this thing first. Did I not tighten this up the whole time? Wow. Well, it seems like it was fine. Okay, we're going to put this back on. I am not going to sand it. Not going to do anything. But put a little bit of wax on it. Because it's just a little bit rough on one end. I could arguably sand that, I guess, with some of that 2000 grit. But generally, if I do that, there's a good chance I'll leave little streaks in it. That's what happened last time. So I'm not going to do that. Tonight I am listening to a band from my youth called Slow Children at Play. They're from Athens, Georgia. I think I think they released 3 albums. I only ever had 2 of them, but they're on Spotify, which is really cool. I'm going to turn the lathe up again, because I need it a little heat this time. Doing this with no dust mask. What a rebel. So the wax will fill it up. fill up that grit just a little bit. Yeah, it's better. All right. All right, take two. Now I'll remove the pin and put it together. After I reposition the camera. Ah, crap. Sorry. The bottom of my camera is still broken. I still have to fix it. Checking the angle real fast. Should be more or less fine. All right. And grabbing that thing. Cool. Now it's time for the hands. Yay. My favorite part of these pens is how easy they are to put together. They're literally 2 parts. Some pens have a lot more parts. Come out, dude. Don't need these. Oops. Alright, I'm going to just check for infiltrating glue just to be sure. And something I heard is occasionally CA, the glue, will crack really badly, but the way you fix that or prevent that is by sanding the ends down to make sure there's nothing in the way. Like that'll get pushed up. And apparently the linseed oil is supposed to help as well. So, cool. Neat. Now I have more kits. Do I like chrome? Chrome's pretty good. I think the only other acceptable metal, I might have gunmetal. Let me just check. Where did I put them all? They're in here. Definitely have antique brass. That could look cool. There's gold. That's no good. I do have gunmetal. Well, we're definitely going to make a gunmetal one because it's from a rifle. I think when I had originally put that blank in that bag, it was the only other one I had. It's the side of my head for everybody. Come on, man. This finger doesn't work good. Can't feel anything with it. Slowly repackaging all the chrome things. Sorry. It's taking a minute. So, for once, I hope that there's nobody trying to chat to me. I'd rather have people in here trying to chat to me, but if there are people here and I'm not seeing them, that is worse than if there's no one here. I don't want to be leaving people hanging. There's all the stuff. Okay, that's tight. I found out, too, that I can just take a shortcut. A safe one. Normally, those aren't safe. And put on both pieces at once. Come on, man. No, well, I'm not going to do it because it's making me nervous. I am a nervous fella. Come on, man, go in. Why won't you go in? There must have been just a little bit too much glue still in that tube. I really thought I got it all. Or what wasn't out was so thin it wouldn't matter. It's going in, it's just going in really slowly. There's a little more. I think my next major purchase is going to be a pen press because I see them and they exist and I go, I don't need that, I'll just use a clamp. That is my father talking. I will buy the tool and spend a little extra money because it'll make my job easier. I'm all about modern conveniences, man. All right, it's a pen. She's a little guy. He's a little guy, I guess. I'm gonna leave the little piece of glue or plastic or whatever this is, the little piece that seals the ballpoint. I'm gonna leave that on there because he's not gonna use this for a few months. But that's it. This is a pen that used to be part of a rifle a long, long time ago, and it will be owned by the man that owns the new rifle made from other parts of a different rifle. That got confusing. So, I'm visible. Cool. I hope this was somewhat enjoyable. I had a good time. I usually do. I had a beer. What did you expect? Anyway, if you had a good time, I appreciate it. And I would also appreciate it more if you hit like, if you like this sort of thing, and if you subscribe, and then, share your experiences with your friends, share the links, go to all my other social media, send me money, buy my stuff. I don't know. All that, man. I'm trying to make a living out here. That said, I'm trying to make a living doing this. I got a job, but God, it sucks. I hate it. It's super stressful, and this isn't. So, yeah, man. Support's great. Support your local Splintersmith and other artists, ostensibly. Anyway, I've been the Splintersmith. This has been Pensday, and I'll see you next time.